Hi, I'm Michael with Lazar Scientific and welcome to Flashpoint Fridays. In this video we're going to be replacing the igniter on the Stanhope Seta PM93. For this procedure you'll need a new igniter. Part number for that is 35000-004, a 1.5mm Allen key, and a 1 posi drive or a 1 Phillips drive. Either one should work. This entire procedure we'll do with the instrument off. So if your instrument's on, turn it off. The next thing we'll do is remove the draft shield. We'll remove the two thumb nuts on either side of the pod cover that retain the draft shield. Set those to the side. Remove our draft shield, set it to the side. Lift the pod cover and then we'll loosen the two nuts that retain the pod cover to the pod. On the rear here, we'll remove the two thumb screws that retain the pod cover. The two thumb screws removed. Set to the side, we'll lift the pod cover up, being careful to disconnect the ground wire, and we'll set the pod cover to the side. With that removed, we now have access to the igniter and where it plugs in on top of the instrument. There's a Pclip here on the side that retains the igniter wire. The first thing we'll do is remove the screw with our PZ1 or Phillips number 1. The screw removed and set to the side. We'll remove the Pclip from the wire. Be careful, it's aluminum so it work hardens easily. We'll set that to the side. Now we'll disconnect our igniter. There's two locking tabs on the top and bottom. You depress those and pull it forward. That'll disconnect it. I'll raise the pod here, and using our 1.5mm Allen wrench, we'll just loosen the set screw that retains the igniter to the lid and shutter. You don't need to remove it all the way, just loosen it about a turn or so. Now with the old worn out igniter removed, we can dispose of that properly. We'll take our new igniter out of the bag. We want to be careful, the end of the igniter is fragile, and we don't want to touch that without gloves. We'll remove the tape that holds the cover over the igniter. We'll set that to the side. All right. Now we want to install the igniter back into where it was before, so be careful not to touch the coil. We'll slide it in. And it's important you slide it all the way into the shoulder so it dips to the proper depth. We'll make sure the longitudinal coil is on top, and then we'll tighten the set screw. Don't over tighten the set screw, just tight enough that the igniter stays in. We'll reinstall our Pclip on this piece of heat shrink here. Pinch it back together, feed the wire up into the pod, and we'll reinstall our screw that retains the Pclip using our PZ1 or number 1 Phillips. That installed, we can plug in our igniter. The igniter is keyed, so it only goes on in one direction, and it does lock into place. So we'll line it up, slide it in, it locks into place. At this point, we'll reinstall our pod cover, connect our ground wire to the pod cover. I'm going to make sure to slide the pod cover down vertically, not pinching any wires or any tubing. We'll reinstall the two thumb nuts in the back that retain the pod cover. We'll lift the pod cover. We'll retighten the two thumb nuts here. Retain the front of the pod cover, and we'll reinstall our draft shield. One thumb nut on each side. draft shield in place. We can close the pod. We can turn the instrument back on. At this point, it's important to check the intensity of the igniter coils itself and to run a CRM to make sure the instrument's running properly. If you do need to adjust the intensity of the igniter coils, please give us a call at 574-271-7020, and service will be more than happy to walk you through that procedure. Thank you for joining us on another Flashpoint Fridays.